When I tell you that I love you, don't test my love. Accept my love. Don't test my love. 'Cause maybe I don't love you all that much. Don't ask what kind of music I'm gonna play tonight. Just stay a while, hear for yourself a while. And if you must put me in a box, make sure it's a big box with lots of windows and a door to walk through and a nice hot chimney, so we can burn, burn, burn everything that we don't like and watch the ashes fly up to heaven, maybe all the way to India. I'd like that. All the ancient kings came to my door. They said, "You want to be an ancient king too?" I said, "Oh yes, very much, but I think my timing's wrong." They said, "Time is relative. Or did you misread Einstein?" I said, "Do you really mean it?" They said, "What do you think we come here for? Or goddamn health or something?" Everybody's waiting for the Messiah. The Jews are waiting, Christians are waiting, also the Muslims. It's like everybody's waiting. They've been waiting a long time. I know how I hate to wait, like even for a bus or something, an important phone call. So I can just imagine how darned impatient everybody must be getting. So I think it's time now, time to reveal myself. I am a Messiah, I am a Messiah. Yes, I think you heard me right. I am the Messiah. I was gonna wait till next year, build up the suspense a little, make it a really big surprise, but I could not resist. It's like when you got a really big secret, you're just bursting to tell someone. It's sort of like that with this. And now that I've told you, I feel this great weight lifted. Dr. Nussbaum was right. He's my therapist. He said, get it out in the open. I spent 10 whole days in Jerusalem. Jerusalem, sweet Jerusalem, and all I ate was olives, nothing but olives, mountains of olives. It was a good 10 days. I like olives, I like you too. So when I tell you that I love you, don't test my love. Accept my love, don't test my love. 'Cause maybe I don't love you all that much. I got good news and bad news to tell you about God. Good news and bad news to tell you about God. The good news is He answers every single prayer. Isn't that fantastic? Every single prayer. But God has an awful lot of time on His hands. God has an awful lot of time on His hands. And God has a backlog of prayers to be answered that stretches from Miami to the far side of Neptune. You see, when you say a prayer, it goes into a filofax and usually sits there for 3 million years. And when God finally gets to it, He takes it out and looks at it. He leans back in His leather chair, considers it and ruminates. He coughs and clears His throat. Meanwhile, another 55,000 years are now gone by. And when he finally grants your prayer, your simple request for nice weather for your mother's Sunday game of tennis, your mother's long dead, and you're long dead, and your entire species is oftentimes extinct, or is up and left the planet, or evolved into a creature that lives only in a dome and does not require sunshine to play tennis. They say God works in mysterious ways. God does not work in mysterious ways. God is predictable. God is organized, but God has a lifetime that's so very, very long compared to yours or mine. It's like if you were a bug and you crawled around the world and you did it again and again and again, like trillions of times, till your tiny little tracks created so much erosion that the earth looked like a sphere with its center strip cut out, like a humongous yo-yo lying on its side. Well, that would be an afternoon stroll before dinner for God. In the Cenozoic age, a long time ago, an Australopithecus, that is to say, a monkey, was trying to run away from a woolly rhinoceros, and while he was being chased, he wished that the heavens would open up and give that woolly rhinoceros a great big sunburn. He was not exactly sure how to say melanoma or hole in the ozone, but the sentiment was there and the prayer was there. And you say God works in mysterious ways. No, God does not work in mysterious ways. It's just that God has an awful lot of time on his hands. God has an awful lot of time on his hands. And oh, incidentally, if you think God is old, you ought to see his parents living down here in Florida. God has an awful lot of time on his hands. God has an awful lot of time on his hands. God has an awful lot of time. Thank you. So, it's very nice to be here. It's nice also to get an opportunity for one night in a year to sort of put aside the music crap and actually give a scientific presentation. Today I thought that we could discuss the forces of inertia and also heat. For example, if anybody could tell me why it's so damn cold in here. I'm fine, thanks. So it's to me again. Hi. As you can see, I have stupid tourist tan. My one-day stupid tourist tan. I drove here from Tampa today. Every place else I go that I fly, when I have to like rent a car, you know, I rent some like box on wheels, you know, Fiesta, some ridiculous little shoe. When I come to Florida, for some reason I rent like these convertibles. And I drive like 95. I'm not talking about I-95, of course. And then I leave the top down. I get these ridiculous tans, you know, which in 2 days this is all going to peel off. I'm going to be whiter than when I came here in the first place, which is what happened last time. But anyway, when I was here last time, I had like 3 days off before I had to play. So I like wrote a whole bunch of songs in that time, and I thought I'd play one of them. So I was hanging out on South Beach, little girls have caught the disease. Even the little girls bring grown men to their knees. Walking down the street, you're like a mannequin, leafing through the pages of Cosmopolitan in the city of models. Strip shows and one-night stands, city of models, city of perfect tens. You're invisible, so it's okay to stare. Impossibly high asses float 9 feet in the air. Every step is hot, the sand is neon blue. Wish you were here so you could be beautiful too. In the city of models, city of one-night stands, city of models, city of perfect tens. So right, everybody and their brother tonight gonna be looking at each other, look at each other. In the skirts and pants, the long legs are stored inside of halter tops. The big soft things are poured. Someone's sleeping by the sidewalk grocery store. Get me out of here, I can't take any more. The city of models, strip shows and one-night stands, city of models, city of perfect tens. This is a song about the last place I actually lived, which was about 3 years ago. It was in LA. I was there during the riots, earthquakes, floods, some other stuff. Seems like fires, the Dodgers in the World Series. All these are things that brought the town together. Other than that, it was pretty much a bunch of suburbs. Anyway, during the riots, people said stuff that they didn't know. Well, I think they thought about it. They thought it. And then during the riots and stuff like that, they actually started speaking it. So this is something I overheard somebody saying, first line of it. Let the niggers burn down nigger town. Step aside for burning and looting. But if they set foot in Beverly Hills, time, brother, time to start shooting. Everything everybody has in their homes will be taken away next week, Wednesday. And everything everybody ever believed will be disproved next week, Friday. I'm going down to Hannibal. I'm gonna buy a new suit of clothes. Hitler never hurt a soul. I read it in a book that I finished up just this morning. I was happy and I couldn't wait to tell the good news to all of my dead uncles. When they tore down the Berlin Wall, everybody danced. But between what I feel and what I say, there's a 30-foot barbed wire fence. I'm going down to Hannibal. I'm gonna buy a new suit of clothes. Say hey, 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 hey. Say hey, hey, hey. The world is one big cosmic joke played on me, I hear. As soon as I leave this room, all of you are gonna disappear. Time begins to bend and shift, maybe you haven't noticed. But just the other day a man in Washington State admitted killing cheese lies. I'm going down to Hannibal. I'm going down, I'm gonna buy a new suit of clothes. I'm 6 foot tall and 180 pounds. I can punch through a wall with my fist. And I don't understand how with just one kiss you can wrap me around your finger. You can wrap me around your wrist. You can wrap me around your finger. You can wrap me around your wrist. Everybody who has ever been alive is alive today in Georgia. So for the rest of us, I don't really know who we are. It's a mystery, I guess. I'm going down to Hannibal. I'm gonna buy a new suit of clothes. You see, everything I know I learned from my dad. He learned it all from his. And his dad just happened to be wrong about everything. I'm going down to Hannibal. I'm gonna buy a new suit of clothes. I'm gonna wear 3 neckties. You're gonna help with the bows. You're gonna help with the bows. You're gonna help with the bows. You're gonna help with the hey, 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 hey. Say hey, 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 hey. Say hey, 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 say hey, hey. I've written a few songs about various women. It's just part of the job, I guess. But sometimes people give me grief for it, especially this one girl. She said, "You've written songs about all these girls, but you never wrote one about me." I said, "Well, there's a simple explanation for that. You're my sister." That's not done. But she kept after me, so finally I wrote a song for her, and I played it for her, and she said, "Don't ever play that for anybody in public." So it goes like this. They say you taught me how to talk. I bet you wish you taught me how to stop. You're far away now. Wish I could take a walk with you someplace. You explained me to our parents. English wasn't their first language. They spoke German, hated Germans. Confusing times. Oh, sister. Down Midwest backseat bumpy streets, you sang my Beatles songs with me. I sang your Broadway melodies, bad harmony. And where would Willie Mays have been without Jackie Robinson? And who can say what I'd been without you? After I showed some guys I could drink, they picked me off the lawn, I think, led me to the kitchen sink, where I got rid of it. Some nights I laid awake in awe, as squinting through the dark I saw you peeling off your teenage bra, the door slightly ajar. Oh, sister, you lived just across the hall for 18 summers, 18 falls, until you went away to that weird college in Wisconsin. And where would Willie Mays have been without Jackie Robinson? And who can say what I'd been without you to lead the way? Trust yourself and you can do anything. This I give to you. May your heart purr like a bumblebee. May all your backyards have a tree. May you always be HIV negative. I hope you meet some nice guy who treats women better than I do. I don't even care if he's a Jew or not. Oh, sister, I remember in the temple hall at our dear father's funeral, you sang like a nightingale one of his own songs. Where would Willie Mays have been without Jackie Robinson? Who can say what I'd been without you? Lead the way. Thank you. So, it's good of you guys to come out, you know. I played in Tampa last night, and a bunch of people came out there, even though it was, you know, Tampa Bay against Miami. And they were all excited about that. But they came out anyway, you know. So one guy said, you know, I had tickets for the game, but I came here instead. I thought that was very nice. And I said, when's the game starting? He said, 8 o'clock, same as your show. And he said, how long are you playing for anyway? So I appreciate it coming out. And I understand that your Marlins are possibly going to clinch second place tonight. So I'm sure you're excited about that. Yeah? Well, what they're saying is, man, I hit Bern traffic on the way to the stadium. It was a snarl. Yeah. I mean, I want to look at you. Feel guilty the rest of the night. I'm sure Michael will be relieved the rest of the night. That's a brave thing for him to do. Put on folk shows in Miami. Did I say brave? It might have meant crazy. Well, no. I'm on like a few planes right now, so I decided to travel light. So I didn't bring any CDs, but they should be in the stores. They're also gonna release a Dog Boy Van in the stores in October. So, is one of you excited about that? Whew. I also have books and T-shirts that you can get through the mail. Well, it's like... Okay, let's do a little business. It's 1-888-222-BERN. And you get all the info that way. Okay. Anything else? We're selling shorts. Actually, I dress like this just so that nobody feels underdressed. You know, just... what were we gonna do? Sing. Shut up and sing. Thank you. Just for that, I'm gonna pull up a chair and give a discourse on something. All right. This is because the Marlins are possibly going to finish. I wrote this song this is actually about Europe. It's not about the Marlins. They got a million cafes just dripping with class. Cars that run for days on a gallon of gas. 6 willing dames for each uptight lass. They got their beck and call. It's like they got it all, but they don't got baseball. I'd trade you Rockefeller Center any day for 1 square inch of the Champs-Elysees. Sophia Loren looks okay, but they can keep her. We got Wrigley and Fenway and Joe Robbie, which is now called Pro Players. Is that right? You guys don't know, you're folk fans, I forgot. They got Jean-Paul Sartre. We got Joe Cocker. They got Umberto Eco. We got Jose Canseco. They got the guy named Zorba. We got Tommy Lasorda. They got the Ferrari. We got Harry Carey. They got the croissant. We got too much starch. They got the Eiffel Tower, we got the Golden Arch. But that first warm day at the end of March, remember they don't got. Gibson swings, if it's fair, it's gone. Maldonado can only turn and watch. Holy cow! Play ball. I'm gonna do a true story now. Actually, I'm gonna do 2 of them. So follow along carefully. Well, when Woody Guthrie was sick and dying, Bob Dylan visited him. As he was lying in a hospital bed, Bob sang him songs. Woody smiled and said, "I'm glad you come. You belong here. Go forth and be the voice of your generation. So that's the first story. This is the second one. Well, above Beverly Hills one night, real late, I snuck past a security gate. I parked by a Mercedes-Benz, climbed up a barbed wire fence and over. A couple of scratches, but I'd made it to the home of Bruce Springsteen. Well, I found the boss asleep in bed, pillows piled up around his head. Turned on the light, took off my coat, stuck a thermometer down his throat, said, "Don't talk." "You look pale, boss." "Not at all well." I said, "You look bad," and I asked him, could he think of us as Bob and Woody? I said, "You just rest your pretty head as I sing to you in your hospital bed." He said, "What the hell are you talking about? I ain't sick. Seen a hospital. And how'd you get past the security gate?" I said, "I wrote you a song called Song to Bruce with a tune I stole from one of yours." To his platinum records, next I pointed, said, "I just want to be anointed." "Springsteen, I wrote you a song about a funny old world that's coming along. Seems sick and it's tired, it's hard and it's torn. It looks like it's died and it's hardly been born." He started really looking sick and I stopped singing. Well, then Patty, his wife, came in and said, "Geez, I'm sorry about your husband's incurable disease. I'm here to help any way I can, you know, Woody and Bob, Bruce and Dan." She said, "Honey, what am I hearing?" He said, "Baby, you know I'm in the prime of life." I said, "Yeah, down to 2 million in sales this last time. Read the signs, Patty." He says, "Some people think this record's my best." I said, "Shh, you need your rest." He said, "There's a madman on the loose." I said, "Woody and Bob, Dan and Bruce." Well, he sprang out of his bed and said, "All right, I heard enough of this stuff." He grabbed my throat and dragged me hard down the hall and through the yard. Surprising strength for a dying man, really. Well, he threw me out the way I come. Barbed wire scraped my face and thumbs. I've been thinking ever since. Bob and Woody, Dan and the artist formerly known as Prince. Bob and Woody, Dan and Madonna. Bob and Woody, Dan and Bob. So long, Bel Air. Howdy, Malibu. I got big balls, big old balls, big as grapefruits, big as pumpkins, yes sir. yes sir. And on my really good days, they swell to the size of small dogs. My balls are as big as small dogs. Well, it ain't bragging if it's true, yes sir, yes sir. It ain't bragging if it's true. Muhammad Ali said that back when he was Cassius Clay, before he fought too many fights, left his brain inside the ring. And sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. Sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. I got a friend whose goal in life was to one day go down on Madonna. That's all he wanted, that was all, to one day go down on Madonna. And when my friend was 34, he got his wish in Rome one night. He got to go down on Madonna in Rome one night in some hotel. And ever since he's been depressed, cause life is shit from here on in. And all our friends just shake their heads and say too soon, too soon, too soon. He went down on Madonna too soon, too young, too soon, too soon. And it ain't bragging if it's true, yes sir, yes sir. It ain't bragging if it's true. Muhammad Ali said that back when he was a young man, back when he was Cassius Clay, before he fought too many fights, left his brain inside the ring. And sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. Sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. If certain girls don't look at you, means that they like you a lot. If other girls don't look at you, it just means they're ignoring you. How can you know, how can you know which is which, who's doing what? I guess that you can ask them, which one are you, baby? Do you like me or are you ignoring me? Do you like me or are you ignoring me? Do you like me or are you ignoring me? And all you need to do that is one good pair of big balls. Balls as big as grapefruits, balls as big as pumpkins, balls as big as mine. But even though my balls are big, sometimes I wish they were bigger, even bigger. Big as wheels on tractors, big as the Golden Arches, big as the Golden Gate Bridge, big as all South Florida, big as Mars and Jupiter, big as a swing of Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. The day they found a cure for AIDS, the day they found a cure for AIDS, everybody took one little pill and was okay. The day they found a cure, the day they found a cure for AIDS, everybody took one little pill and was okay. I slept with Cindy and Martha and Sue. I slept with Julie, Melissa and Kate. The day they found a cure, the day they found a cure for AIDS, everybody took one little pill and was okay. The people who had plotted to get rid of all the gays admitted their guilt, and then everything was fine. Everybody else said, I didn't know. One day they found a cure. For 6 months no one went to work, they all had orgies. Morning after, pills were sold in grocery stores and gas stations. The day they found a cure for AIDS, everybody took one little pill and was okay. We rented dirty movies and ordered out for food. For 3 solid weeks, everyone I met was nude. I slept with Cindy and Martha and Sue. I slept with Julie, Melissa and Jake. No, afraid. The day they found a cure, the day they found a cure, the day they found a cure for playing some songs from a new record that's going to be out in, I think, early spring. Mostly I recorded it already. Had a lot of fun doing it. Unlike my last one, I did this one pretty quick. And did it in Austin, Texas, which is good because you sweat there about as much as here, which is about the best thing for your voice that can possibly have, a bunch of humidity. So while you guys are all complaining about it, I'm enjoying it. I promised myself when I got into this racket that I was never going to stand up on stage and talk about the weather. I am. But actually, tonight, I like to think of it as meteorology. I come down the steps, I slip on the ice. Santa Claus been looking, who's been naughty, who's been nice. I'm looking for one thing real tonight. And Jesus, he comes up to me. Jesus, he sits down. He says, take this fucking cross off my back. I'm going downtown. I say, oh, but ain't that your uniform? He offers me a toke. He says 2,000 years is long enough for this particular joke. He says I'm looking for one thing real tonight. And I'm up here singing these songs every night. Sometimes I wanna just make them all up on the spot. Maybe they wouldn't rhyme too good, and they might not make sense, but then at least I wouldn't be repeating myself. I'm looking for one thing real tonight. And you're the one I've chosen, and I guess you've chosen me. Let's turn off the commercial. Let's turn up the TV. How well can we get to know each other in an hour? We can fight the daylight. We have that power. I'm looking for one thing real tonight. with a bucket full of paste. He rips off my ear and says, glue this to my face. I'd like to leave America for some place where they would not know a word of English, and I might be understood. I'm looking for one thing real tonight. I don't like your jokes any more than mine. Charles Manson doesn't even know his last name anymore. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. He's forgotten it. Charles Manson made a bunch of people who believed his every word, who followed his directions to cut a bunch of rich people. Would they still have done it if they'd known his name was Krautmeyer? I kinda doubt it. Charles Manson made a shitty album not too long before he got a bunch of people to believe his every word and follow his directions. Would they still have done it if they'd heard his shitty album? I kinda doubt it. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. It's a singable chorus. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Marilyn Manson took the last name of Charles Manson. He didn't take the name Marilyn Krautmeyer. If he was called Marilyn Krautmeyer, I bet no adults with hard straws up their asses would try to cancel any of his concerts the way they do with Marilyn Manson. I think he should be called Marilyn Krautmeyer. He'd probably get to play a few more concerts, and maybe he wouldn't sell quite as many of his shitty albums, but at least the truth would be out that Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson really was a lucky guy. People didn't hear his shitty album. People didn't know his name was Krautmeyer. His followers never saw him pick his nose, which I understand. He liked to do a lot. Charles Manson comes up for parole every now and then. 3 guys sit across from him and talk to him for half an hour, then step denied on his papers, then run home and tell their wives about it. Maybe he should go back to Krautmeyer. Maybe they'd ignore the swastika on his forehead and stand approved on his papers. We hereby parole you, Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real... You guys aren't a folk audience at all. Man. And you know, I was just talking to Pete Seeger. And he said, I was thinking of coming down there. And I said, well, I'll tell you how it goes. What can I tell him? They don't sing, Pete. It's not worth your while. Well, how did you know? I tried Krautmeyer. Krautmeyer didn't work. Krautmeyer, they didn't sing Krautmeyer. I find that hard to believe. And Pete and I walked off into the sunset going, Charles Manson's real name was Charles Krautmeyer. Just the gals now. Name was Charles Krautmeyer. Charles Manson's real name was Charles. Sounds awful pretty. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'll do what I can with him. You know, it doesn't work in my case, really. All right, tell the whole class now. Sure, you get a couple people right by you. Snicker, you know. Yeah. Look, Ma, they're gonna fry Tim McVeigh. She said that nice guy who was on the cover of all those magazines, why would they want to go do a thing like that? I said, well, they killed all those people in Oklahoma City. She said, nonsense. People don't kill people. Car bombs kill people. And I said, well, yeah, Ma, they got to do something with him. She said, why don't they just get Mike Tyson to bite off both his ears? And I said, true revolutionaries never bomb buildings. True revolutionaries never bomb buildings. It attracts too much attention. They never bomb buildings. A little girl down my block was born with silicone in her breasts. Turned out her grandmother and her mother both had the implants done, and well, evolution took care of it this time around. And I wondered why so many women with big breasts look so sad, and I thought maybe there's something to do with the weight, the burden they're asked to carry in the world, to feed it, to be the object of its desires. And I wondered what burdens the rest of us are asked to carry. And I said, true revolutionaries never bomb buildings. It attracts too much attention. They never bomb buildings. And I decided to go for a walk and do nothing except look everybody I see right in the eyes and not be the first to avert my eyes no matter what. And I was planning to go out for 10 or 15 minutes, but things started happening and I didn't return for 2 years, by which time I was the heavyweight champion of the world and the expectant father of 16 children by 13 different women. And while walking down 14th Street between 7th and 8th Avenues in New York City on the subway to see the Yankees, I suddenly realized you were my best friend in the world, and I didn't stop grinning till the bottom of the 7th inning. in a fishing village in coastal Spain. It was Our Lady of Abortion Sunday afternoon. All the pregnant women in their first trimester filed before the priest to receive the blessing of try again sometime, try again. And the old barber had dyed his hair green for the occasion and pierced his nipples and rode his skateboard to the statue of Conan O'Brien, where he was busy doing backflips for the little kids who threw coins given to him by their parents. A visiting lecturer, achingly handsome, had just finished giving a how to build bombs in your basement seminar in the park. And all the young girls were putting their notebooks away dreamily and putting dandelions in their hair. The chimpanzee who had managed to type out Hamlet 3 years before was sitting in the third floor office of the driver's license building, typing out learner's permits, typing out zoning ordinances, bored and lonely. Pee Wee Herman was sitting in the central square in the grass, naked and masturbating, while all the townspeople moved to him slowly and kissed him softly and sung lullabies in the grass. Princess Diana was driving through Paris all by herself in an open car. She waved, everybody waved back, and she drove to the zoo and spent the rest of the afternoon all by herself feeding peanuts to the gorilla. Meanwhile in Paris and in Greenwich Village and in Berkeley and Scottsbluff, Nebraska, nobody sits around funky little coffee shops anymore talking revolution. They get a coffee to go at Starbucks and they go back to their basketball games where they see who can jump higher, who can jam, who can take it to the rack. And they all wear baseball caps, except they don't say Yankees or Dodgers or Marlins on them. They say Nike, Reebok, and Adidas. Because the pro players, they don't play for teams anymore. They play for shoe companies. And the kids aren't fooled. They're just biding their time, waiting for the millennium when all the computers will crash. Because the best scientists in the world forgot to make them read. And I was sitting all by myself with a head full of dark thoughts, and suddenly everything cleared. And I realized that the only purpose really for revolution is to be able to love who you want, how you want, when you want, where you want. So I stole a boat, took off all my clothes and rowed out to the middle of the lake and jumped in and looked back at you and said, come on, get wet. True revolutionaries never bomb buildings. It attracts too much attention. They never bomb buildings. They never bomb buildings. So I get a lot of crap sometimes for not having it. I get a lot of crap for a lot of things actually, but sometimes people give me crap, believe it or not, for not having any love songs. To me, they all are. Just maybe a little different kind of a love song. But this one definitely is. The only thing weird about this one, really, is that the people in it didn't actually ever meet. Other than that, it's pretty standard. And when you think about it, At least I thought about it. Like back to my own relationships, if you can call them that. I mean, there's a few people that if we'd never met, we might still be together. So I don't think it's such a bad thing. It goes like this. Marilyn Monroe didn't marry Henry Miller. 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 But if she did, he'd have taken her to Paris. And if she did, she'd have smoked a lot of opium. And if she did, she'd have dyed her hair blue. And if she did, she might be alive. Henry Miller. Marilyn Monroe. Henry Miller. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe didn't marry Henry Miller. She lived outside the Tropic of Capricorn. Marilyn Monroe didn't marry Henry Miller. I don't even know if she knew Henry Miller. But if she did, he'd have taken her to Paris. And if she did, they'd have fucked every day. And if she did, she'd have felt like a woman, not like a photograph in a magazine. Henry Miller. Marilyn Monroe. This is not a knock against Arthur Miller. Death of a Salesman is my favorite play. But Marilyn Monroe should have married Henry Miller. And if she did, she might be alive. 'Cause if she did, he'd have taken her to Paris, tied her to the bed and eaten dinner off of her. And okay, maybe she'd have died the same anyway. But if she did, she'd have had more fun. Henry Miller. Marilyn Monroe. So I promised you another chance to sing. Redeem yourselves, redeem me, something, you know. I don't want to go out of here thinking, you know, I couldn't get that audience in the Science Museum singing. I don't know what was wrong with me. But this is one basically mainly for kids. And if you're a kid, pay close attention. And if you have a kid or know one, learn it so you can teach them, so they can teach their friends. Because they don't get this stuff in school. This is basically a science song. They look for the missing link. Oh, that's quite all right. I'm just wondering, what is it about that line? Oh, really? It wasn't you? Ah. Now, don't intimidate them. Anybody remember what we've covered so far. I'll tell you what, let's start again, and you can sing the first line with me. 3, 4. They look for the missing link. Very nice. Next line is there's no missing link. There's no missing link. Why don't we just come back to the singing part in a minute. They'll never find the missing link. There's no missing link. We're not something you can figure out with an equation. We are the genetic mutation. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked them. Yeah, that's your part. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Darwin tried explaining it. He did the best he could. Evolution, pretty theory. But how could Darwin know that aliens came and fucked the monkey? They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. How else explain fax machines? How else explain digital remastering? How else explain fiber optics? How else explain Mozart? We do not belong here. This planet was a terrarium, intergalactic broken home. Have to go to outer space and one day find our daddy. How else explain pay at the pump? How else explain caller ID? I hate that thing, by the way. How else explain Alonzo Mourning? How else explain Michael Stock? Religion, astronomy, astrology that looks to the stars. We do not belong here. This planet was a terrarium. 7 billion bastards screaming for their daddy. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the... Give it to me now. This is a very enthusiastic crowd. Just the gals now. And you guys, and fuck the monkey, they fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey, they fucked. And the kids. And now everybody in a Pete Seeger voice. Aliens came and fucked the monkey, they fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Thanks a lot. Good luck to the Marlins. But I'm a Giants fan and I hope they beat the Marlins in 3 straight games. Thank you. here, Talkin blues, huh? Oh, that's short. There's the pizza by the Sitgo or something near here on 17th. You know that place? My God. No wonder, you people are growing like football players down here. Ordered a slice. A slice. It was like this big. It was ridiculous. He cut it in like 4s. It'd be a great place to be homeless, I think. Just people's scraps would be like, feed your family. Come to think of it, I am. Well, my back was sore, my teeth were shot, my guitar felt like a heavy load. So I called up the guy who does my booking. I said, man, you gotta get me off the road. He said, off the road? I think we can do that. He said, I've got just the perfect gig for you. No more cafes, no more science buildings or bars. I booked you on the very first luxury cruise ship to Mars. He said, 2 years there, 2 years back. I said, that's good. A steady gig, finally. I mean, I get tired of traveling all the time. So they gave me a 4-piece backup band, these 4 guys who could really play. We entertained the passengers for tips and 3 square meals a day. Well, 3 frozen freeze-dried packages. It went pretty good for a while until the other guys in the band decided that they wanted to play their own material. So we broke up and they started doing their own solo gigs all around the ship. Even so, I was inspired as never before way up there in deep space. I wrote songs about the asteroids and anti-gravity, protest songs about the frozen, freeze-dried packaged food. I thought I was on a roll. Everybody came by and said, man, why don't you play the songs from your record? After about a year and a half up there, I finally noticed this pretty girl. She worked as a waitress in the cafe, handing out frozen, freeze-dried, packaged food. We fell madly in love. She asked me to give up my music for something a little more stable. I said, baby, it's not like I can go anyplace. She fell in love with my drummer, and we broke up. They got married. He gave up his drumming and his singing to install solar panels in the cafeteria. I was heartbroken. I wrote songs about being heartbroken. People said, let's play a song from your record. By the time we finally got to Mars, I was sick of the whole bit. I went outside, grabbed some dust, came back in. That was about it. fly back to Earth, my booking guy called up, said, Dan, I hope Mars is lots of fun. I said, you can shut up Uranus, man. He said, Uranus. Been meaning to talk to you about Uranus. You can get you 6 nights on, 1 night off. Opening up for Ani DeFranco. That's a young crowd, you know. Those people buy t-shirts. I said, how long will this one take? He said, 20 years there, 20 years back. But you gain 6 hours on the time change. I said, can I play whatever I want? He said, sure you can. Just play something from your record now. Thank you. All right, since somebody requested this, I'm going to give it a try. I haven't done it in a little while. I might mess it up. So, let's do it. It will help me mess it up. You can't sit in the front row if you're that sensitive. You don't go to comedy clubs, do you? Live music, great. I'd like to be a good American and write an elegy to the automobile. But no matter where it takes me, I jump in, I don't really feel any different. I got 1 foot in the black and white two-dimensional ghosts of Lithuania, and 1 foot in sunny California where the people are all friendly as they drive their Mercedeses to the mini mall and take a lunch with you, or network with you, or drive past and kill you for no reason. These are my ghosts. Uncle Emmanuel, Uncle Eli, Aunt Mia, and my grandparents, Jenny and Tobias, none of whom I've ever met. I saw some letters once that they wrote to my dad in Palestine in 1940, not too long before they all got shot. My only link to them is my dad. He knew them, and he knew me, and now he's gone too. Sometimes I want to get next to them, but sometimes I want to push them all away. Say, you're not my ghosts. I live in sunny California. I drive a 1992 red Chevrolet. I drive fast and I drive as far west as anyone can drive. 8,000 miles from Lithuania. If I could escape by driving further than I would, but it doesn't give me any place new. I guess if I was a true American, I could write an elegy to the automobile, but when I jump in, I can't escape the way I feel. I sometimes want to dance on Hitler's grave and shout out Groucho Marx, Lenny Bruce, Leonard Cohen, Philip Roth, Bob Dylan, Albert Einstein, Abby Hoffman, Leonard Bernstein, Emma Goldman, Harry Houdini, Sandy Koufax. And then I want to sing as loud as I can, watch the chandeliers sway dangerously overhead, proclaiming Kristallnacht is over. I say that Kristallnacht is over. The only broken glass tonight will be from wedding glasses shattered under boot heels. We are not the ones who are in the museum. It is you, your curious mustache, and your chamber of horrors. I have a friend my age whose parents met in Auschwitz on the day of liberation. She works for a big company now in San Francisco and just moved into a new house. I have a friend who lies in her hospital bed after 15 operations from a botched appendectomy. I go to visit her with a heart heavy from the things on my mind, and she cheers me up. I saw my dad tell jokes and teach me how to laugh 30 years after his father, mother, 2 brothers, and his sister were all killed, shot, murdered in the streets of Lithuania. I see trees growing tall and the sun coming up and the ocean roaring home, and I know I must go on. I must go on. I must go on. It would be cowardly to stop. It would be an aberration to do anything else. Amid something you try to remember for days, the fog has suddenly lifted, the haze is gone from your mind. And it's not so much that your memory is finally heated, just that you gave up needing to need it. Hey, hey, the fog is gone. Hey, hey, the fog is gone. It's time for you to come out. No longer reason to die when something is over. Something else begins. The end of the century's coming, like a blind woman relentlessly spinning. And before it's sewn shut, you wanted to scream. Hold on just a minute, was this just a dream? Or is there something to learn besides who got the gold and who's been losing and winning? But a century's a man-made process, an attempt to stick order on chaos. You're born with 10 fingers, so we count up to 10. But if everyone counted the cracks on the wall, we might all count to 3, and then it wouldn't be the end of the century at all. Hey, hey, the fog is gone. Hey, the fog is gone. It showed signs early today. I knew when I woke in my bed that we'll drive up the coast. It's a Tuesday or a Thursday, but I can't remember, and I don't care. We'll drive to Seattle or else Oklahoma, or else if we wanted a boat to Hawaii, or maybe Japan with the kings of karaoke. Come on out now, girl. You gotta come out. Maybe the only thing jumping in the car and driving can really get us is an empty tank of gas. It sure beats sitting around. Maybe we'll get lucky, find our own private river valley, or at least an all-night diner where they know how to poach an egg. Maybe we'll meet some nice people along the way. Anyway, you know I'll never leave. No, I'll never leave. I'll never leave. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the idea. I hope to see you guys again. Thanks, and, you know, support this stuff. Don't let Michael Stott be the only idiot down here. Okay, thanks.
I got big balls, big old balls, big as grapefruits, big as pumpkins, yes sir, and I'm a really good at this. They swell to the size of small dogs, my balls are as big as small dogs, but it ain't bragging if it's true, yes sir, it ain't bragging if it's true. Muhammad Ali said that back when he was a young man, back when he was Cassius Clay, before he fought too many fights, left his brain inside the ring. Sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods. Sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods. And I got a friend whose goal in life was to one day go down on Madonna. That's all he wanted, that was all. To one day go down on Madonna. And when my friend was 34, he got his wish in Rome one night. He got to go down on Madonna in Rome one night in some hotel. And ever since he's been depressed, cause life is shit from here on in. And all our friends just shake their heads and say too soon. He went down on Madonna too soon, too young, too soon. And it ain't bragging if it's true, yes sir, it ain't bragging if it's true. Muhammad Ali said that back when he was Cassius Clay, before he fought too many fights, left his brain inside the ring. And sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods. Sometimes I wish I was Tiger Woods. If certain girls don't look at you, it means that they like you a lot. If other girls don't look at you, it just means they're ignoring you. How can you know, how can you know which is which, who's doing what? I guess that you can ask them, which one are you, baby? Do you like me or are you ignoring me? Do you like me or are you ignoring me? Do you like me or are you ignoring me? And all you need to do that is one good pair of big balls. Balls as big as grapefruits, balls as big as pumpkins, balls as big as mine. But even though my balls are big, sometimes I wish they were bigger, even bigger. Big as the wheels on tractors, big as the golden arches, big as the golden gate bridge, big as Mars and Jupiter, big as all of New Jersey, big as the swinging Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods, Tiger Woods. Really nice to be in New Haven. Got the good weather for us and everything. Yeah, I don't know what they're complaining about global warming. It's not here. come down the steps, I slip on the ice. Santa Claus been looking, who's been naughty, who's been nice. I'm looking for one thing really nice. And Jesus, he comes up to me, and Jesus, he sits down. He says, take this fucking cross off my back, I'm going downtown. I said, oh, ain't that your uniform? He offers me a torch. He says 2,000 years is long enough for this particular torch. He says, I'm looking for one thing real nice. And I'm up here singing these songs every night. Sometimes I wanna just make them all up on the spot. Maybe they wouldn't rhyme too good, and they might not make sense, but then at least I wouldn't be repeating myself. I'm looking for one thing real nice. And you're the one I've chosen, and I guess you've chosen me. Let's turn up the commercials, let's turn up the TV. How well can we get to know each other in and out? We can fight the daylight, we have that power. I'm looking for one thing real tonight. There goes sits next to me with a bucket full of paste. He rips off my ear and says, glue this to my face. I'd like to leave America for some place where they would not know a word of English, and I might be understood. I'm looking for one thing real nice. I wrote all these songs about girls over the years, and one time this one girl asked me how come I never wrote me about her, and I couldn't really ignore her because it was my sister. And I said, well, I haven't written any about you basically because you're my sister, you know? And she said, that's a terrible excuse. You should write one about me. So I wrote one about her and I played it for her, and she said, please don't ever play that in public for anybody. So anyway, it goes like this. They say you taught me how to talk, but you wish you taught me how to stop. You're far away now, wish I could take a walk with you someplace. You explained me to our parents, English wasn't their first language. They spoke German, hated German, confusing times. Oh, sister, down Midwest backseat bumpy streets, you sang my Beatles songs to me. I sang your Broadway melodies, bad harmony. And where would Willie Mays have been without Jackie Robinson? And who can say what I've been without you to lead the way? After I showed some guys I could drink, you picked me up alone, I think, and led me to the kitchen sink where I got rid of it. Some nights I laid awake in awe, and squinting through the dark I saw you peeling off your teenage bra, the door slightly ajar. Oh, sister, you lived just across the hall for 18 summers, 18 falls, until you went away to that weird college in Wisconsin. And where would Willie Mays have been without Jackie Robinson? And who can say what I did without you to lead the way? Trust yourself, and you can do anything. This I give to you. May your heart purr like a bumblebee. May all your backyards have a tree. May you always be HIV negative. I hope you meet some nice guy who treats women better than I do. I don't even care if he's a Jew or not. Oh, sister, I remember in the temple hall at our dear father's funeral, you sang like a nightingale one of his own songs. And where would Willie Mays have been without Jackie Robinson? And who can say what I've been without you to lead the way? This is kind of a science song. It's also kind of a sing-along if you're into that sort of thing. They look for the missing link. There ain't no missing link, though. They're never ever gonna find a missing link. There's no missing link. We're not something you can figure out with an equation. We are the genetic Mutation. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. Darwin tried explaining it. Darwin did the best he could. Evolution, pretty theory. But how did Darwin know that aliens came and fucked the partner? They fucked the monkey. Aliens came and fucked the monkey. They fucked the monkey. How else explain fax machines? How else explain computer enhancement? How else explain dot severances? How else explain a high percentage of art?